YOLO, my fellow human beings, and welcome to episode 54 of The Best Blessed Life. I'm your best host, Kristen, and today's topic is Bake Better, baby. Before we get started, I want to thank you all for watching. Please continue to watch, comment, share, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and please pass them on to anyone you think that they could help. With that being said, I need to go through a bunch of things because I started recording this video and realized I never actually hit the record button. So I have a big bowl of stuff here that I'm going to have to go through with you and explain. But I stopped before I got too carried away. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through the positive words from the week, starting with the third, which was Friday, which is valiant, possessing or showing courage or determination. Saturday the 4th was nirvana, in Buddhism, a transcendent state in which there is neither suffering, desire, nor sense of self, and the subject is released from the effects of karma and the cycle of death and rebirth. It is the final goal of Buddhism. For Sunday the 5th, unconditional, whether love, support, or surrender, it's something absolute and not subject to any special terms or conditions. The 6th was joy, a feeling of good cheer and a vibrant happiness. The 7th was cheerful, causing happiness by nature, action, or appearance. Intuitive is based on what one feels to be true, even without conscious reasoning or instinct. The 9th was laughter, an audible and visible expression of a number of positive emotional states, such as joy, mirth, happiness, or relief. I just got food all over it. And today's the 10th. It's astounding, surprisingly impressive, or notable. All right, with that being said, what we're going to do today, let's talk about our challenges we got going on. So we just did our positivity planner, and then we got the movement. So under things we're going to do today, I have new stretches that we're going to go through. Hopefully I'll remember. And then, of course, we have alone time, and we all know what that means. Good, bad, or indifferent. Okay. What we're going to make today is carrot cake, and I put it in a question mark, like, what's up, Doc? Because I don't know if we're going to call it cake. I don't know if we're going to call it what you want to call it, but we're making cupcakes as opposed to actual cake. And the reason for that is based on the feedback. I put positive feedback, but it's got to be feedback one way or the other. All right. So the faux pas that I made was that when I hit start to record, I never actually put it on the record button. I just hit the button and forgot to actually press play. So we're making a version of Paula Deen's carrot cake, and the recipe calls for these things here: 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of salt, 4 whole eggs, 1.5 cups of vegetable oil, 3 cups of carrots, 1.5 cups of pecans, and I'm adding raisins. And then for the frosting, it's 16 ounces of cream cheese, 1 stick of butter, 16 ounces of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1/2 cup of pecans. Most of that we're not doing. And if you can see the little asterisks, those are things that I've actually substituted. So for the 2 cups of all-purpose flour, I'm actually using 1 cup of all-purpose flour and 1 cup of coconut flour. For the 2 cups of sugar, I actually reduced it to 1 cup of brown sugar. I'm not using white. For the 4 whole eggs, I used unsweetened applesauce. For the 1.5 cups of vegetable oil, I used 1.5 cups of Greek yogurt. And for the 3 cups of carrots, you know that I used 3 cups of carrot baby food and some version of that. 2 of the packages that I got were, and they're 4 ounces a piece, were apple pumpkin carrot. So I did 2 of those, so that made 1 cup. And then the other is 2 just regular plain cups of carrots. And then for the frosting, I'm replacing the 16 ounces of cream cheese with Greek yogurt, the butter with a cheesecake sugar-free, I couldn't think of the word, sugar-free pudding mix, not the whole thing. And then to replace, I'm adding the vanilla and the pecans, and maybe not so much of the powdered sugar, maybe half, hopefully. All right, so I went through the frosting. In this bowl, I have everything mixed together pretty much, except for one thing of one thing of baby carrots. And the thing we're going to run into is that it might be too wet and we might have to add more flour. If anything, I'll add more AP, but I'm going to keep track. It's like in clumps in here, and the way they had me put it together was a little odd. It was like I put the flour, the baking soda, and the salt, in all the dry ingredients together, but then they just had me starting adding stuff. So this is going to top off our 3rd cup of carrots. I don't know. I think it's going to be a little wet. So we'll be kind of, I don't know, for lack of a better word, feathering in some more flour just so we don't overdo it. Now, the other dilemma I was talking to you about before I realized I wasn't recording was the fact that I have purchased nuts from a certain company before, but they weren't nuts, they were seeds, sunflower seeds and pepitas, but definitely have eaten the brand before, but didn't realize till just now that they're manufactured in a facility that manufactures peanuts. So, luckily, I never broke out or had any reaction to the seeds, but I'm a little more leery of the nuts. So I do have a little bit of pecans from Trader Joe's that I can eat. So I'm going to make a very small batch of that. And let me see what we're dealing with here. It's actually very sweet. I was going to add some honey, but I don't think I am now. And Paula Deen does not call for vanilla in her cake, but I think it needs it. And then we need 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And we're going to go from there. I do think we're going to need some more flour. I do think that perhaps I might add a little bit of the pudding mix. That was 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. It's almost going to remind me of pumpkin pie because of the texture. Come on, cinnamon, get mixed up. I don't know, there's such a happy place I go to when I smell cinnamon and pumpkin. It just gives me this overall, I don't know. I just remember the first time I had pumpkin pie and what joy it brought me. I still wonder if I should be whisking this because I feel like our texture is a little off. All right, so what I am going to do, let me get the vanilla in here. And I'm just going to go with a teaspoon. Because like I said, we're already pretty wet, liquid-wise. But I mean, how can you not? I feel like vanilla gives you a sense of sweetness without actually adding like a sugar. Okay, yeah, we're really dealing with more of a pumpkin pie filling right now. And I really feel like we need more, just a hair more flour. And we do pudding cake, right? So I need a couple tablespoons for the actual frosting that I'm making. So I think I'm going to measure that out real quick. And then I'm going to dump the rest of it in here. And fingers crossed, it will absorb some of our liquid. Where am I going to put this? Let me put this in one of our cupcake papers here. Okay, let me find, I gotta find my, oh, here it is. Okay, so 2 tablespoons, because I'm doubling the recipe that I saw. They actually say you can just make a little cheesecake with this and Greek yogurt. is a healthier cheesecake. Can you smell this pudding mix? It smells so much like cheesecake. It's ridiculous. Okay, so there's one. Two. All right, and then I'm going to dump the rest of this in here. I'm kind of scared, I have to say, but it should give us some stability, hopefully. Whoop! I don't know if y'all saw that, but it just flipped right over. Okay, I'm going to get this out of the way so I don't knock that over. Okay, throw that in my messy sink. This can go in my messy sink. Okay. Let's see what this does for us here. All right, Paula Deen, I've really changed it up now. I don't know if that's good or bad. Got a lot of pudding on my spatula. All right, let's see what we did. Can you see the happy face? Okay. I do have to say, I think I need a couple tablespoons of just regular flour. Just because y'all know me. I'm a little nervous about our texture here. So I think we'll start out with one and we'll work our way. I just need it to thicken up just a scotch. And maybe the pudding will do that too. I know it'll absorb some, so I don't want to get too carried away. Okay, actually, stop. I'm trying to avoid as much white flour as possible, so it really was giving me anxiety to put that in there in the first place. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to take a little bit of the batter out. I'm going to find a bowl to put it in because I need to make my own little version so that I can put my pecans in there. But I do want to put, let me get this all cleaned off. Oh, there's so much stuck. Spatula, no wonder. I just found a big globule of flour on my spatula. Gosh darn it. Okay. All right. So, I need the vanilla for the frosting. Might need the cinnamon for the frosting. Not sure yet. All right, so I'm going to put, oh my gosh, it's clutch. I know my husband doesn't like raisins, but he can have one of the ones. You know what? You gotta have raisins. I'm sorry. He can pick them out. I just think you need them. Carrot cake, you need raisins. Okay, so I'm doing, let's see, let me do my spin here. Okay. I'm going to do 1 cup and see how much that actually gives me. This will absorb. I love any dried fruits because I feel like they also absorb. My raisins are a little on the hard side. Let's see. I have one kid that likes raisins and one kid that doesn't. And my husband doesn't like them. But I love them. I like any dried fruit, really. I put cranberries in here too, but I don't want to deviate from original carrot cake since I already did with the actual fixings of it. All right, so that's a 1/2 cup. Let me see how that mixes in. I want a good ratio of raisins, right? Okay, maybe another 1/2 cup. Or maybe a half. So let's say 3/4 of a cup of raisins, maybe. Don't want it to be overpowering. especially when you have people that don't like it. Of course, I don't think my kid that likes, here's the caveat to that is my kid that likes raisins doesn't like carrot cake. And my kid that likes carrot cake doesn't like raisins. So I don't know. What do you do with that one? I say you put the raisins in. If you don't like them, you pick them out. Right? Okay. All right. That's a good disbursement of raisins. I'm going to put my share. I think that's a good amount. Okay. Now, this is my version that I'm going to put my pecans in. I'm going to actually crunch them up a little bit. Okay. And then I have to separate this out too so that I can get ever need a way to crush up your pecans, don't take them out of the bag. Just take your knife and do that. Okay, so I'm going to pour that. Because I want to taste test them for you, and I can't if I don't have... That's a good one. I don't have all the ingredients in there. Come on. I'm so excited. Okay, and I got to remember to mark my cups on the back. Okay, let me find another bowl. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put, let's see, half of it in here. You know, the coconut really does. Okay, so half of it's going to go in here. It's got such a nice sweetness to it. It's not real, like, overly powering. Okay, so that's going to be one. Let's see. They weigh the same? The bowl's a little. Let's just do that. Okay. I don't know if that one has as many raisins. All right. So, oh my gosh, I got such a... I needed those. I don't know why I threw those away. But, okay. So now I need to crunch up my nuts a little here. Because my walnuts, the only ones that were on sale were the whole ones. So I'm just going to take my knife and do a quick... I really love revamping recipes. And if you're somebody that likes to experiment, it's like take somebody else's recipe and do something different with it, you know? It really is a fun way to challenge yourself to think outside the box. Walnuts, make it into the bowl. Without following the norm or following somebody else's recipe to the T, making it your own. I like doing that. That's always a fun project for me. These pecans came in a little bit more of a crushed up nature. Ooh! Golly. I stepped in a little bit of flour dust on the floor and I almost sent myself flying. So I don't really need to crush these up too much. Okay, so these are going to go in here. Whoa! Oh my goodness, I've made such a mess. I don't know, this seems like a lot of nuts. And that's me breaking them up into half and half. I don't know, I'm a little nervous. This might be too much. Okay, actually, I mean, they're going to be super nutty. I'm going to give you that much. She does put a lot of nuts in there, but okay. And then I'm going to use an ice cream scooper to get my stuff into the thingies. Isn't that very official? The stuff into the thingies. Okay, now if you do use coconut oil, you're going to have a little bit different texture than you would if you used all-purpose flour throughout. And that's because coconut oil is like more of a powder than like a flour. And so, I said coconut oil, I meant coconut flour. It's more of a, okay. So I'm not going to be able to try the walnut ones. So the people I'm sending these to, y'all need to let me know how the walnut ones are. All right. So I'm going to mark, because I'm only going to get probably 2 for myself. I'm going to mark my two, and I'm going to do those first. Okay, somebody didn't wash that. I don't know what's in here. Come on. You know what I think it is? It's just dried soap. I don't want soap in my cupcakes either. All right. Don't people know I'm busy? Okay. That's better. I don't know how that got put away like that, but all right. Mine come first, just so I'm not, and I'm just taking a big old scoop and doing them like that. I have enough for an extra one, but I'm going to wait to see how, I obviously have enough to do more than one round. So, you know what? I am going to have to mark the, let's see. How am I going to mark these so I know the walnut from the pecan? So, this is the walnut one. So I'm going to put W's. Hopefully they look like W's. Okay. Okay, one more. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5. And then the other ones, freaking pecan ones. Just so I have enough of each one so that I can send you all off on this. Our dough is pretty thick, I have to say, considering. So I'm putting 2 scoops. I don't know how they're going to react. It might be a little too much, but go big or go home, I always say. Doesn't hurt to have it overflowing, right? There's more to love. Get in there. Do you talk to your food? I do. Okay, so I've kind of kept the regular walnut ones away from my walnut ones, which is nice. I got one more. I just like the texture. The smell that's coming out of this bowl is amazing. Okay. it doesn't taste like Greek yogurt. It doesn't taste like applesauce. It doesn't taste like, I don't know, it doesn't taste like a lot of things that I put in there. Doesn't taste like baby food. I can't believe how much the pecans took over more than the walnuts did. Okay. And then while we're waiting for these to cook, we'll be making the frosting. Get in there. And unfortunately, I only have one muffin tin of this size. So, yeah. While we're waiting for the first round to cook. All right. So, these two are mine. And these are the walnut, and we're going to get them all cooked up. Oh, how long are we supposed to cook them for? It's going to be a little bit different because I think I'm just going to have to monitor them. But let's see how long she wanted us to cook the actual cake for. I'll tell you what, this is bake for 40 minutes. So we'll start with 30. Actually, let's start with 20. And we'll go from there. All right. All right. So let's get this. I'm running out of room. I want to get our stuff out of the way. Okay. And now, holy moly. What is happening? I have such a mess going. Do I have to chop anything else? Friday must be calling day. Okay, I need to wipe up real quick here. I'm trying to think if I need the cutting board for anything else. I don't think so. She did mention putting pecans in the frosting, but I don't know if I'm doing that. So, especially since the pecans I bought, I really can't have. I need another bowl so we can make our frosting. So we need 2 cups of Greek yogurt, which I forgot to grab. We'll see what happens. We might be adding some applesauce just to give it some sweetness and to cut down on the how much powdered sugar we're putting in. Okay, so I thought I had a spoon, but apparently I do not. Okay, so let me get this stirred up. Why is I just put on my Wartburg colors today to give my daughter a shout out. And then I end up messing it up. Okay. Okay. Oh, and I need to wipe this out because it has the remnants from the walnuts. Okay. So I just eyeball when I measure stuff this thick. I kind of just spread it out and say, oh, it looks like about a half a cup. Okay, so there's one. I was just going to throw the whole thing in there. Okay. 2. So that's 1 cup. And then one of these days, I promise you guys, we're going to be making our own Greek yogurt. But this is the next best thing. Fayet, I love Fayet. It's such a thick that it can be used, and I like it better than some of the other ones just because of its thickness, but It can be used to replace sour cream, cream cheese, mayonnaise. If you're making ranch dressing with the brand name like Ranch Mix, switch it up. Put half the mayonnaise in, or don't put any of the mayonnaise in and use all Greek yogurt. All right, so there are our 2 cups of Greek yogurt. Yummy. Okay. I'm still going to probably need that, but I'll put it there. Okay. Then the other thing is, as I knock everything over, I have one little thing of applesauce that I opened for the cake portion. So now, okay. Then I'm trying to decide if I want to add a little bit of the applesauce. Let me see. I'm not mad at it. The issue is going to be, is it come too wet then? Because if you think about Greek yogurt, it is, even as thickest, is not quite as thick as cream cheese. When softened it is, though. Okay. Think about this. Let's add all of our other stuff. So we're going to put our 2 tablespoons of the instant pudding. So this is cheesecake instant pudding. Okay, we're putting that in there. We're going to mix that all up. I should have kept my, oh, I do have it still, but it's, okay. All right, so that thickened it up for us a little bit. All right, so then we're going to need, I think we're going to need this, because we needed butter. And you can always use applesauce to replace butter. So we're going to plop it in there and see, hope for the best. You know, it's not the end of the world. It's just the end of the experiment. Let's see what happens here. Our pudding gets a little life. Okay, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of powdered sugar. Oh, and vanilla. I got to add the vanilla too. How much vanilla? 1 teaspoon. Okie-dokie. I'm just going to pour that in there. I was doing little dribbles as opposed to one solid because I didn't feel like going to get my teaspoon. I was being lazy. All right, so put that back. All right, let's see what kind of texture we got here. I might need to whip it with a whisk here. Let's see. Okay. Again, not mad at it. But it does need a little bit of powdered sugar so that we get our, and I want to whisk. Whiskey, whiskey, whisk. Okay. Let's see how our muffins are doing. I call them muffins, but they're really cheesecake. How much? 16 ounces of powdered sugar. But I don't know if I'm going to need, I might need a little milk. I'm not going to lie. Okay. I'm going to do this. How do I want to do this? Oh, my sink is such a mess. I think what I'll do is just start out with a half a cup at a time and see how we do. Because I really don't want to overload it with sugar when frankly we've been pretty good about avoiding it for the most part. So we're trying to bring about the texture of cream cheese frosting. I'm even going to do little bits at a time because, like I said, I might need a little milk. Nice and smooth. We're trying to get rid of as much of the Greek yogurt flavor as possible. I think I want to add a little bit of milk just because. Okay, so far I've not even added a half a cup of sugar so far, okay? And I am getting more of a frosting consistency. I don't know if I'm wearing more of it or not. All right. Definitely sweet enough. What am I looking for here? I definitely need more vanilla. And I don't think I put enough in. I don't taste the vanilla at all. So let me put a little more vanilla in there. I guess I should have leveled off my cupcakes. They're definitely not moving. They're not, rising. And maybe I should have added more baking soda or even baking powder. And I think I'm going to add some cinnamon too, actually. Whiskey. Still can't taste vanilla. All right. And I think I broke my cinnamon lid. I'm so upset. Not even sure that's a whole teaspoon, maybe half. And I am going to put the pecans in there, I think. I don't know if they're in there or if they're just, I got a cramp in my hand. What do I want to say? Or if they're just sprinkled on the top. Okay, whoops. Wouldn't you know, my tablet has to be a butthead. Okay. Okay, I want to see. Oh yeah, she kind of looks like it's in there, but it kind of looks like, I guess I could do a little bit of both. Let's see if the cinnamon came through. I don't taste the cinnamon. It's gonna break off. Okay. And then I'm using some pecans that I can have, so I can incorporate them in there. It's more like pecan dust, really. All right. I thought my dog was coming to help. All right. Let's see. So, I'm trying to figure out what it's missing. I think it needs some milk, texturally speaking. What the? Wow, how did I do that? Let's just see. A couple little sprinkles. I want the texture to be better. And honestly, it could just be that it needs more of the pudding mixture. Let's see. Yeah, it might be that. Because I get a little bit of the apple, which is fine. I mean, apples and carrots go together, as far as I'm concerned. And I get no cinnamon, and I get no vanilla, which seems very odd to me because I find it hard to believe that apple would cancel out. Okay. Okay. I think it needs, I hate to say it, a little more cinnamon. And I think I'm going to do a little bit more of the pudding. Because I really don't taste the cheesecake factor, which is what would probably put us over the edge here. So I'm going to, yes, make a bigger mess. Find my moppoon. Yeah, sanitation. Okay, so I'm going to do another tablespoon. That could be the factor that I'm looking for. We shall see. All right, how are our muffins looking? Let's see. That one's got a little knobby on the top. Oh, okay. They're hardening up nicely. I don't know if that's how you want to put it, but okay. I'm going to get this if it... I'm telling you what, the mistake I made is that apple really is taking over big time. Unbelievable. So I guess the recommendation would be to not either add as much or not to use applesauce. Find a different butter substitute. Could have used coconut oil, I guess. And I thought about that for a split second. It's leveling off. The other thing is that a lot of this might just work together because of the cake with the frosting. I think we're on a little bit more than 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Although it was not called for in the recipe. All right. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep trying to fart with this a little bit. And we'll come back. Actually, hold on. We're going to have to add time, I think. Let me see. Because we only have 12 seconds left on this first round. Some of these are cooking very funny. Like this one here. Well, hello. Yeah, they're still a little bit on the moist side. So I guess when I put them in here, I should, like, okay. So the second, that was 20 minutes. Let's do 20 more. And, okay. While that's cooking, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to put you guys on pause, and we'll be back in a little bit. Fingers crossed that this goes over beautifully. All right, I'm back. We're almost done. They are done. What the heck did I do? Why is this happening? I keep messing this up. Okay, so it says we have 3 minutes left of the 40 minutes total. And I'm pretty sure, I just checked them, and I'm pretty sure they're done. So I'm going to get them out. They got hard. They sunk a little bit. There's a couple in here that are definitely bigger than others, but they look pretty tasty. Well, they're still kind of squishy in the middle, but they're definitely done. Actually, yeah, they're definitely done. They're not jiggling. Let me, you know what? I need to get toothpick. Let's see. Let's see if it comes out clean. Clean as a whistle. All right, so I am going to let these cool. I still don't know if I have the frosting right. I'm still... I don't know. I have now put, like we discussed, I've now put almost a whole package of the pudding in. So I think that would just be the way it goes when you make it. You can add the cinnamon if you want. You can add the pecans. I almost said pistachios. You probably do that too. But it's up to you how you want to flavor your, let's see. I want to take one out. Yeah, they're still, I don't know. I'm going to put them in for another 5 minutes or so. And that way, while they're cooking, I mean, they're not horrible. They're almost done. So this would technically put us right at the 40-minute time frame. Okay. So things we're going to do while we're waiting. We're going to leave the frosting alone for a little bit, I think. We're going to do some stretches. Because, well, why not? Other than the fact that your microphone wire is being a butthead. Okay. So the stretches we did last week, I hope helped you out a lot. They helped me out a lot. The couple of ones that I wanted to do for you today, I might need to show you on a different day because a lot of it is lower half work. And I don't have anything I could technically stand on to show you. What's I got on a chair? Let me think here. All right. At least then if I stood on a chair, you guys would be able to see what your feet should be doing for the most part. And everybody should have a fancy chair. And for stretching, a lot of times you could just take your shoes off. All right, so the first one you're going to do, you're going to want your feet wider, and you're going to drop your hips down. Sorry, I can't really do it on this chair. I thought I was going to be able to. But you want to drop your hips down and kind of give yourself that kind of a squat. So your knees should be turned out. Your feet should be turned out. I don't have any balance left. And you want to be able to sit into that squat, kind of have the back flat, the booty out, and then come up. Any of these that look hard to do, don't do them if you physically cannot. Okay? What was the other one I wanted to show? Child's pose. I hope many of you know what that looks like. It's down on your knees, kind of in a squat like this. Your head can be on the floor. Your arms are stretched out in front of you. This is a great one for your lower back. This one, it shouldn't be too bad to do. It should alleviate a lot of the pressure from your lower back. Just let it all kind of relax on the floor. You actually want to sit back on your feet a little bit. Then the other one you want to do is the cat and the cow. So your knees should be underneath your hips and your hands should be underneath your shoulders. And you want to drop your back and put your chin up. And then you want to roll the back and drop the chin. And I believe the breathing for this is you're going to blow out as you drop the back. And then you want to breathe in. I might have that backwards. Okay. If you have back issues, check with your doctor first to make sure that you should be doing that stretch. A couple that you can do sitting. Okay. So cross your leg and then you can grab the chair and kind of get a nice little rotation. If you're not supposed to rotate your back, please don't. And then you can do the same thing on the other side. If you have a stability ball, this is a good stretch to do on there. That's so nice. And then the other one I really like is you're going to bring your cross one foot over the leg over the knee, and then you want to bring, usually, again, you would be doing this laying on the floor. Really stretches out the hips a lot. Okay, so then you want to cross, and you're going to reach the hand through the hole. And I usually grab the front of the knee because then you can bring it in tighter. You just want to make sure you're not pulling too hard. If you can stretch further back, do so. Another one is just sitting in the chair with your feet on the floor and just letting your body hang over. Just let your chest rest on your lap, basically. And it should release some of the lower back. Get some nice deep breaths in while you're down here. Don't look at your floor because you'd probably be mad. Just let your neck kind of relax. Let it just dangle. This is like the sitting version of the standing version we did last week. And then you slowly just kind of allow yourself to roll up. Just a little bit at a time. And then you want to reach up. And you're just kind of stretching out each side. You're not going to the front or the back. You're just bringing it off to the side, and you're giving that arm that you're pulling towards a little bit of a gentle pull, and you'll feel that sensation. I know they're done. I'm coming. I wanted to get the other side first. And tip. Woo! What an amazing stretch. I tell you, if you're not in the shape to exercise, at least be in the shape to stretch because it's almost more important. It definitely gives you movement when you might not have already had some in your day. And it's positive movement. It's not exhausting movement. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. I think we're definitely done now. Granted, they should probably be set off to cool. But I wanted to try one with the frosting. I have a feeling I'm still going to have to finagle the frosting a little bit. So, I might not. Yes, I'm opening one of mine. Okay. Let me. La-di-da. Get my spatula here. Okay. I'm a little nervous because I don't think the frosting is right. And these are so freaking hot. I just want to try to taste it for you. I mean, the texture of the frosting is actually pretty nice. It stays on the muffin. Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. Fingers crossed. So hot. So hot. Not done. Still pretty much liquid. So ours is going to probably take longer. Oh my God, that's so good though. I'm not even mad at the frosting, really. There's a good amount of raisins in there. We might have an issue with our, but everything else, spot on. Okay, so that was 40 minutes. We're going to do 10 more minutes. And you've already seen me taste test them, so I'm probably just going to do this 10 minutes off camera. And I will post a picture of the finished product. Fingers crossed. Okay, the last couple of ones I suggest, especially for your lower half, y'all that sit all day, really need to stretch out the inner thighs, the hips, the buttocks. So putting your foot up on a chair and leaning in. And when I say lean in, first of all, you want to have your chair pretty stable so it doesn't slide out from underneath you. The other thing is that when you're leaning in, you don't want to lean in so far that your heel, your base leg heel comes off the floor. And you don't want to lean so far in that you actually hyper extend your knee or anything like that. So just a nice gentle lean in. And you should feel the stretch in both inner thighs, but different perspectives of it, I guess. Lean in. I'm trying to think. I guess you do want the heel to come off the floor. I'm actually doing a little bit different stretch on this leg. So the first leg, I did my foot turned, and I think that worked. Let me see. For leaving the heel on the floor. So if you're doing the one where the foot is turned to the side, the heel stays down. If you're doing the one where the foot is facing forward, the heel is going to come up off the floor. And that one you can lean in a heck of a lot more and stretch more of the hip area. And then we're going to do the side one on this side. We're going to lean in. Yeah, so you get different stretch, which is really nice, from both angles. All right, I think that's it for the stretches today. I'm going to get back to you in a little while with our end result. Online, of course, not in the video. It tastes great. If anything, it probably needs a little bit more flour, or a little bit more pudding. Fingers crossed, be able to let you know one way or the other. So with that being said, I want you guys to have a good day. Go do great things. Be your best self. And please live your best blessed life. Thanks for watching. Bye.